Season.
He's making some noise, man, because he always has the unpopular opinion, which I disagree with sometimes, but I still love it. Open Season Radio from 7 to 9. I'm a big fan.
I'm your host, Sketch Artist. And yes, I am the Hear It Nation hothead. You cannot have that opinion, man. No. Show the record, I'm not having it. No. Because you get the Eminems in the world that are specifically speaking up for black communities only when his album is gonna come out.
Open Season.
I recently finished watching Pretty Little Liars.
And it's time for me to check out.
Okay.
I'm still here, guys. Next topic.
Next topic, please. Thank you.
God, I'm the only one that's light skinned in my family. This man isn't black.
Give me some of them Skittles, cuz.
No.
This is Open Season. Every Sunday, 7 to 9, here at Nation.com.
We are live on everything here at Nation. This is Open Season. I am your host, Sketch Artist. We are brought to you by BTCTalentConnection.com. 313-829-0650 is the phone number to call in and debate. At 708, Eminem is Taylor Swift. At 7:15, Bizarre needs to get out of the city of Detroit forever, or give our clothes back. He's wearing Detroit clothes. If he's not living here, he needs to give the clothes back. Nothing should be Detroit about Bizarre. If you want to vouch for him, that's your homie, 313-829-0650. Please convince me otherwise. At 8 o'clock, sketch synopsis. MGK gave his interview. All the headlines would suggest that MGK doesn't want the smoke. That's what they would suggest. So I gotta roll up my sleeves and defend another millennial for the things that they're not backing down from. At 8:32, the great debate, not happening. We got Lions football to watch. Not gonna not watch Tom Brady. That's my number one man crush. That's why I'm so glad at the end of his career, I got a Baker Mayfield entering his career. So I get to swap out my love fest. What grinds my gears? It's gonna be a Batman penis. Spoiler alert. What's going on in sports? That was last hour. You missed it? Try next Sunday. What do you, the listeners, think? 313-829-0650. Comment at Open Season Radio or Sketch Simpson, whatever you want. Let's get started with this week's half-ass of the week. Why is my sound not working? There it is.
If there's a task that must be done, don't turn your tail and run. Don't pout, don't sob, just do a half-assed job.
Half-ass of the week, but not my half-ass, not my half-ass.
Thank you, Weffer.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot. That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
I'm not a fan. Okay, Oscar the Grouch, chill on the couch.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
What is wrong with Eminem? I seriously want to know. What is wrong with this guy? Eminem is now Taylor Swift territory. There's no convincing me otherwise. He's only playing the victim right now. He took out that one-page ad for the magazine to explain that everyone was against him, and then he put at the bottom, "Thanks for the support, assholes," alluding to, ironically, every opinionist's favorite time of Eminem. This guy is living in high school glory days.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand that everyone else understands that. You were living in the past. He's complaining in the ad, from what I took away from it, that we don't appreciate his rapping and his replay value and his album making skills. He's complaining that we don't think we know what we're talking about. If you go back and listen to the Eminem Kamikaze interviews, he said, if you listen to my music and you compare it to what's going on in current music today, that's where people are comparing it to where they're thinking that my shit's whack. If that isn't an old man saying that he has all the answers and we're all wrong except for him, I don't know what is. So on top of everybody backing up their opinions saying that the last decade of Eminem, for the record, I've been on it before Joe Budden. I've been on it. That's right. That's a resume. I've been on it before MGK. As a matter of fact, I stayed so blind to the MGK drama, but still breaking down the drama from afar, but knowing a few tidbits. I didn't even know he was arguing generational until last week. I've been on that train. Eminem is living in the past. I'm tired of it. All the young kids are tired of it. Nobody's ever compared Eminem to anyone else but Eminem, and Eminem's the only one that doesn't get it. It's like the worst joke ever told. I love the rollout. Very intelligent. I'll touch on it more in the 8 o'clock hour. But it's a great album, even for an Eminem album. It's a great Kamikaze album. It is a great album. And when I say it's a great album, I mean one thing with an asterisk. Even though this is the better part of Eminem's side that we've seen in a minute, pause, there's still no replay value. That's a blanket statement. But there's still no replay value in the grand scheme of things. But I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate that he put his diss song, his response song, only on YouTube. I appreciate that. Because he broke YouTube hip-hop stream history. He is pretending that he understands how the game works. I will get to more of that in the 8 o'clock hour. He's complaining, though, in this ad, from what I took away from it. Again, let me disclaimer that paid opinionists are giving their opinions. He's complaining that non-rappers are weighing in on rap. But he's not even complaining only in rap anymore. And ironically, he's doing the same complaining. He's talking about other platforms while he's saying that that platform doesn't know enough about his platform to weigh in on his platform. So opinionists can't say, Eminem, you're falling off. You're just like Nicki Minaj. You're just like Kanye West. You're reaching to these millennial taps, but Eminem's fucking it up because he's spitting on every millennial. But what did he say 6 years ago? That he has to keep a few punchlines because these up-and-coming artists are hungry as fuck. What changed in 6 years? Your relevancy? Now you come out with the clickbait? Now you come out calling out every opinionist? People been dogging you this whole time. But now that we're able to compare you to you have an issue with it. Eminem's always been a hot button issue. That's what made him this pop star he is today. Pop star that he is today.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
I want to clarify something too. If you go back to January podcast of Joe Budden podcast, the whole reason why Eminem was even being in attack mode towards Joe Budden and Kamikaze, it all stemmed from Eminem making the Colin Kaepernick argument only about him and Trump. And Joe Budden questioned it as a black man. Believe him or not, the timeline, Joe Budden paid only respect to the lyricism of Eminem and said that he's worried that, ironically, Trump made the narrative change. Why is Eminem also making the narrative change? It's not about you and the president. It's not about Eminem and the president. It's about Eminem should be the mouthpiece of the message. That's what initiated the Joe Budden name drops. That's why I, only becoming a Joe Budden fan this month, like real talk, I'll give it out, only became aware of him this month. Eminem's scared. Eminem is scared of Joe Budden. And he's playing the Taylor Swift victim card now. Why would you drop an album, Kamikaze, explaining that you're making up for the flop you did 7 months ago? And this is the third time you had to cover your tracks with good content from bad content. And you get mad that opinionists are giving that opinion? He gave that opinion. Eminem said he's not living up to Eminem standards. It's not about what you sound like compared to what everyone else is sounding like. No, motherfucker. You stop leveling up. You stop giving a shit. You keep working with pop stars. And now you're digging in on the millennials and they're clapping back. Don't get it twisted. Eminem's just the most polarizing. And I keep getting this bad rap on Hear It Nation that I'm just bagging on Eminem all the time. I got to keep it in context. Album, 9 out of 10. His personality is pissing me off. Just like Nicki Minaj's personality is pissing me off. Just like 6 months ago, Kanye West's personality was pissing you all off.
I just love Trump. That's my boy.
I wrote out for Kanye then because he's just saying he's the only black rapper to still say he's friends with him and everyone else is being fake. I understood what he was saying, went to the wrong platform. But at the end of the day, Eminem is being the loudest in the room, and it only started with Eminem. I don't know where all this insecurity is coming from. Granted, it's always been there throughout his entire career. But he's demanding that we're supposed to yes man him. How can he make fun of every other rapper's style right now? And now the argument is, who had a bigger culture impact? Eminem or Lil Wayne? Tim Mac's of the belief that it's Eminem. But even when Eminem's representatives come out and say that everyone sounds like a splash of Wayne and Drake, I think outside of white America, as far as culture, nobody took blue and yellow purple pills as much as they did when Wayne said to do them. Can I just say that argument right now? I'll claim a W on that one. Cultural impact. Negative or positive, I don't think anyone can argue. Wayne has had a bigger culture impact. Call me out on it. I fall into that blanket too. I don't run from it. Everyone else kind of takes it a step too far, and that's the rappers that I don't necessarily defend, but I'll defend their way to do it. If scatting was a thing back in the day, how can I yell about a mumble rapper? Eminem is the half-ass of the week. He won't quit crying. Put out a good album and shut up. Seriously.
Yeah.
Put out a good album and we'll love you.
Shout out to Open Season every Sunday on Hear It Nation from 7 to 9 p.m. Your show is phenomenal. Every Sunday again, Open Season, 7 p.m. only on Hear It Nation. Check it out.
Shout out to all the listeners on
Want to shout out
live right now. We got a lot of people watching.
Big up to the listeners.
Want to shout out?
You can click that link, get the high quality. All my antics will make a lot more sense when everything sounds like on the good HQ quality, the drops, the sounds, the everything. But big ups to the viewers, because you can comment. So we actually need all the help we can get.
Interact with us, guys.
We're here every Sunday.
We'll read your comments.
Every Sunday we here, 6 to 7. Nothing but sports and football right now, 7 to 9. Hot, trending, debates, changes weekly. And I do want to say this. This is the last week I'm talking about Eminem.
Good.
No, like, seriously. This is the last week I'm actually going to discuss the Eminem beef.
I'm not a fan. Okay, Oscar the Grouch, chill on the couch.
Because in the 8 o'clock sketch synopsis with the MGK interview, I'll give my closing thoughts on that too. But I'm done discussing it. It's a little weird that the interviews came out the week Spotify's contract kicked in for Joe Budden's podcast. It's also a little weird that the song Kill Shot came out the day before the second day of the 2-in-1 week podcast recordings that Joe Budden does. It's also weird that we have to discuss Bizarre right now, who used a Joe Budden podcast drop in his song to try to lead the charge against Joe Budden. Clearly, the Yes Men are listening to Joe Budden's podcast. Why aren't you checking your Yes Man and have them stop giving them hits? This is another reason why Terrance didn't want to show up today.
J'accuse, Terrance.
So I'm gonna bring the curtain back a little bit. So me and Terrance text during the week during like some of the topics, if they're evolving topics. Some of these things are one and done topics. Other things need to be nurtured like this. So I sent him the Bizarre video, and Terrance hit me back. He hit me back 2 days later. He said, "Why did you make me watch that?" He was mad that I was doing my job and I took 3.5 minutes of his life away. What you got, show director?
Alan said a lot. He says, Wayne was a youngin' in the street that crossed over and caught the attention of an alternative generation by starting to skate, etc. M was the voice of young white kids that weren't understood, that crossed into pop and can't come back from it, in my opinion.
No, and absolutely true. And like that was the jumping point of like Tim Mac's thing. But like I'm willing to say, as far as the millennial generation, white, black, and I'm thinking bigger impact as far as daily life. I think I got to give it to Wayne now. I'm planting that flag. Before I was a little, you right, man. It's nothing but white rappers because of this white rapper. But culture impact. Whew. Speaking of cultural impact.
Yeah. Everybody, get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Everybody, wild the fuck out. Wild the fuck out. Wild the fuck out. Everybody, get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Everybody, wild the fuck out. Wild the fuck out. Wild the fuck out. Wild the fuck out.
Can we get rid of Bizarre? This is who's leading the charge. Mr. Yes Man himself hasn't had a photo with Eminem in 6 years. As a Detroiter, this embarrasses me. I, at God of Hip Hop, tweeted Joe Budden. After this drop, I tweeted at Joe Budden. I said, get this man the fuck out of my city. Get this man the fuck out of my city, bro. It wasn't even nothing good. Bizarre only listened to Joe Budden's podcast about how Joe Budden's dog was going to die one day and made a reference point. But again, put out this video after Joe Budden commented on Bizarre not 6 days ago. You see how quick Bizarre was to get the shit going? Now, if you listen to this song, 1, I apologize. 2, don't ever play that in the city again. 3, you can tell that this song was pre-recorded for a minute and a half because when he punched in with that J Electronica garbage, which is the safest beef to ever start, by the way, you get no points from me, Bizarre. And then going in on Joe Budden on his alleged sobriety. Nobody cares about sobriety. Nobody cares. I don't care about anybody's sobriety. Bizarre is clearly not sober. His videos, you can go through and see the screenshot thumbnails to all of them. They're all shot in the same fucking Detroit house. KPZ said,
the song would sound a lot better if you suck my dick and then go sing it.
And then KPZ. But KPZ said, I don't know how he got the plug, but he said Bizarre doesn't live in Detroit anymore. But with this representation, I'm hoping he's right. But he's wearing Detroit versus everybody clothes on him.
Right.
You got to give me that. But of all people to lead the charge, all these Eminem yes men, oh, Eminem want him to jump. I'm the only one that's saying no. Eminem's scared. Budden has said, come at me, not in a rollout song or a mention. Come at me, I'll get out of bed all day. Mm-hmm. And everybody's arguing that Eminem's the one that wants Joe Budden to open up the floodgates. No. He only went to YouTube smartly to break a YouTube record. Smart. He's only giving love taps to Joe Budden because his yes men are listening to Joe Budden say, I'm not going to respond if they're only love taps. How do you get the public opinion court to say that you win? Just keep giving love taps. Because at the end of the day, Eminem has a bigger audience than Joe Budden, right?
Yeah.
And if your yes man ain't paying attention to Joe Budden, it just looks like, oh man, he keeps saying and Joe Budden don't say nothing. It's not about lyricism. Clearly.
Electronica. Who is that? Oh, it's Jerice, the guy that carried the bags.
I don't like his style at all.
Nobody does.
I could not listen to him.
Get him out of my city.
For real.
Bizarre, get out of my city. Let's hear what he had to say about Joe Budden.
Do we have to?
Unfortunately. That's what Terrance said. Then he didn't show up.
I don't blame him.
What?
I don't blame him.
I don't either. I'm so hamstrung in this city.
Sleep on the floor and call the 9 dad. The one that sold the tape to the source? Let me chill, I'm getting off course.
Don't tell me on your album how much you love D12. When I look at Bizarre, he don't look like he's doing very well.
And he don't. See all them pills he got in that video alone?
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
I don't know what Bizarre's trying to prove, but if anybody... I seen people in the city claiming this shit. I'm about to shout them out right now.
Want to shout out?
Make them say, whoa. Very disappointed. You said you didn't even expect this from Bizarre. There's no bar for Bizarre. He's still offbeat. He don't get a pass because this is the least shitty thing he's done in a decade. That's the Eminem mentality. Don't do it.
Just pump it up. Next time I see your jaw, I'ma lump it up.
And everybody goes to that Pump It Up song. A battle is about the information at hand, not about lyricism. Joe Budden will know way more about Bizarre than the other way around. Bizarre doesn't even talk to Eminem. What do you think Bizarre really knows?
No offense, straight defense. Fuck around and put your son on the remix, punk. I'm a motherfucking whore, disrespectful. I shoot your fucking dog. Damn, you love that dog to death. Good, you can watch us take his last breath.
I'm giving this man way too many hits.
Yeah.
I'm giving this man way too many hits. This is what I gotta do right now, people.
Hey, what up, everybody? It's Vinny Rico.
You already know. I love when a Detroit topic comes up. Because we got the biggest yes man of them all.
Hey, what up, everybody?
I need to call Vinny Rico. I didn't give him a heads up. I didn't give him a heads up at all.
Hopefully he answers.
Want to shout out?
Big ups to the listeners. I need to know from the listeners. Do we need to get rid of Bizarre from Detroit? forever. I'm trying to put a ban on this man. He is embarrassing us as a city. Why is he trying to go in on Joe Budden? Regardless of what you think of the Eminem beef and Joe Budden beef. Regardless of that, if you're just tuning in. Every Sunday, 7 to 9, hot trends, 6 to 7, sports. What can we do to get Bizarre out of the city? I'm about to make a call to my homie Vinny right now.
Hey, what up, everybody? It's Vinny Rico.
He does not know I'm calling. He better answer, too. All he did was play DJ today.
Yup.
He even told Alan on the phone, I'm just here playing music. Like, yo, we got a playlist that does that. Vinny just trying to get that check. He trying to just get that Here at Nation check. Now, here's the question. Does Vinny Rico
You have reached the voicemail box of Vinny Rico. At the tone, please record your voice message.
Oh my God.
When you are finished recording,
Hey,
you
what up,
may hang up
everybody?
or press
Vinny
pound for more
Rico.
options.
Yo, Vinny, this sketch artist from Open Season, we are live on my show. I need Bizarre the fuck out of my city. And you are Mr. Detroit. You need to call me back. Am I stepping too far out of line, Vinny Rico? Do you know somebody that knows Bizarre from D12? Does anyone from D12 know who Bizarre is anymore? Please call me back, Vinny Rico. What can you do, man?
We'll see.
Vinny not doing nothing. I hate when people I hate when people don't be doing nothing, acting like they doing something.
He might be still driving home from the studio.
No.
I thought he lived kind of far.
I don't care where he lives. Detroit has a question that needs to be answered. Does Bizarre got to get the hell out of the city? This is getting ridiculous. Get out of Detroit, Bizarre. Get out.
Did Pump just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
I got a question for my listeners. Is Lil Pump saying, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant, a bar? I need you to weigh in right now at Open Season Radio. Come on. Weigh in, people. Show director, as soon as those answers come in, you need to tell me. Is that a bar? Is that flames? Is that hot sizzle? Like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
Did Pump just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
I need to know. I think it's a bar.
I think so, too.
I think it's a bar. Come on, now. Come on, now. And it was even called Love Tap. That Bizarre song against Joe Budden. I know I come off irrational, but you can't tell me that I'm not laying down the timeline. These yes men are just obsessed with listening to Joe Budden's podcast. On the podcast, he keeps bringing up love taps. People are tweeting at Joe Budden, yo, what's up with all these love taps? Why won't he just going on you? He keeps saying, yo, that's what I keep saying to him. Joe Budden wants to smoke. He says, quit with the love taps. What does Bizarre call his diss song on Joe Budden? Love taps. These yes men are just listening and pushing this narrative, and people are falling for it. He needs to get out of the city.
Someone said, fuck no. I don't think they understood the question.
I forgot what my question was.
Is Lil Pump's thing a bar?
Oh, that's not... Big up to the listener.
Want to shout out.
I want them honest answers. If this is in flames...
Did Pump just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
I'm a sick fuck. I like a quick fuck.
It's a good bar. Not fuck no.
Nah, I'm telling you right now. I'm having fun with it. I'm not dying on the hill. But I want to know, like, is it reaching or is it a bar? Just let me know in the comments, man. We got a Demi Lovato update. What we got? Why you snickering?
They just commented again and said, that's not a bar.
All right, man. Big up to the listener.
Want to shout out.
I'm not dying on the hill. I just got to open up the conversation a little bit.
I love it, though.
I'm not just trying to yell at fat-ass Bizarre all day.
Okay,
Jesus.
update on who?
Who do you think? Demi Lovato.
Oh, boy.
This is the last time I'm bringing her up, too. I just want to rub it in my listeners' faces that I'm effing right. She didn't do anything different. The narrative's not different. It's just the same old dreck. Her mom is out there now talking to the media. She's like the 5th family member to give out some narrative, and they're just pushing this narrative on Demi Lovato, and it's fucking irritating. She did heroin. I brought it up on my show. I'm not like outing out her business. I'm just saying it was a terrible secret. Her side effects only lasted of 7 days of throwing up. That only has to deal with heroin.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
Hello?
What do you got, listener? What's poppin'?
What up, man? It's your boy. Listen, this is Gino 2 times, man.
Shout out.
Line.
Big up to Gino. What you got, baby?
Shit, that's a garbage-ass line, man. That's pure
Blaze, bro.
garbage.
Was that Gino commenting the whole time?
No.
Oh.
Yo, I want to suck your dick, bro.
Everybody ganging up on me. Yeah, no, that's a bar.
Did Hook just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
So you telling me that's not a bar?
No, man. I don't think so, no.
All right, what you got on getting freaking Bizarre out of the city? I can't stand for it. Are you with me on that?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I want to shout out.
Telling you, man. I got opinions all over the board, but my passionate ones, like this Bizarre business, that's for real. We need to band together as a city.
I'm with you on that one, bro.
All right, Gino, I got one more question.
Big ups, though. Doing your thing, bro. We're all here listening, man.
I got.
Nation.
All right, man, shut up. Let me quit stepping on my jokes. Now look, I gotta ask you one more question, man.
Yeah.
Why did you allow Weffer to be such a stick in the fucking mud on the Red Live reunion show?
She was very upset that night, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she ruined my listening experience because I turned you guys off.
Oh.
I just got to tell you, it's her fault, and that falls on you, Gino. You too much of a good time. Shit, I got one more question. Why do you keep professing your love to your significant other when they're not on the social media sites that you are on? You are tagging people that looks like made up people to the rest of us.
She ain't made up, dog. That's great.
All right, big up, Gino. I love you, homie, man. Never change for a soul, homie.
All right, man. Be easy.
Big up to Gino for that, dog.
Want to shout out. Yo, I want to suck your dick, bro.
How don't they think that's a bar?
It's a bar, man.
2 people.
That's a bar. 2
Come
people against me, though.
on.
But nobody's been against me on this whole Bizarre business.
Nah.
We can debate that all show. Y'all can be with me and against me on the same show. Is that not a bar? Tell me. But if you answer that, you have to answer this. Do we get Bizarre out of the city? That's all you got to do. That's my only preface. It's the only participant. I'm not asking you guys to just jump leaps and bounds or buy out ads to all your haters, even though you're pissing them off. I'm not asking you to do too much, people. So Demi Lovato's mom opened up about the singer's suspected overdose. Again, she was vomiting, and her family says that she was vomiting for 7 days, but 3 days before that said that it wasn't heroin and said that it might be this. Then a drug dealer came out and spoke. That literally doesn't make sense. That's just white America reincarnate. And the side effects to what the family was saying only last for 3 days of any pill. When you're vomiting and pooping 7 days later, that is only the side effects of heroin. I don't feel like I'm doing a smear campaign. I'm just looking up fucking WebMD that the family is not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that WebMD gets everything right, but bro, I knew the side effect train was only heroin before I fact-checked myself.
Yeah, you did guess that shit right away.
I did that shit.
I told you no, and you're like, oh, I don't think so.
No, seriously. Like, the show director was against it. Like, a month back when this whole broke, I was not pivoting. Like, this is just late. Again, Demi Lovato is a superstar. Just like Eminem is a superstar, Nicki Minaj is a superstar, and Kanye is a superstar. You need to control your own narrative. Where it's fucking up these 4 individuals. Kanye aligned himself with a black person hater.
Sorry, can I just say that was very anti-black?
I just love Trump. That's my boy.
I'm the only one that's light-skinned in my family.
This man isn't black.
Eminem is blaming everyone for his own downfall. And Demi Lovato's trying to cover up this narrative that it wasn't heroin while giving out the side effects to heroin, and her mom is still out explaining that it's not effing heroin. And bizarre, we're done with that. But is it just me? Like, I'm tired of these. And Nicki Minaj, just as bitter as Eminem. Just as bitter. Focusing on the numbers. I'm just tired of these superstars that need to control their own narrative, not controlling their own narrative in a smart way. Either say nothing or sound like an NFL player. One day at a time, doing better. Not telling you what drug it was. Simple! Keep it moving. Quit trending. So I have to keep talking about it. Wow. You want to hear the reason? I knew there was a reason why I made the show sheet, other than to say it's continuing. Thank God I do my research. You want to know what her mom said?
What?
After like a week or 2 of not saying anything, we could have just been dealing without. This is what she said. She said, I feel like the reason why she is alive today because of the millions of prayers that went up that day for my daughter.
No, I just broke in, had a pizza. I'm Jesus.
The millions.
I call bullshit. There is no proper way to mathematically add up if you got the proper amount of thought dosage. A lot of people think about praying, but that only counts for thoughts, but they're not doing enough prayers. And same thing for vice versa.
What?
Like, dog. But this is what I was talking about last week, where like we just handing out W's to Eminem. He is like the Jesus reincarnate. Because this is what I'm talking about. Demi Lovato is trying to cover up her own story. It's not that bad, kind of. And it's freaking ridiculous. We're just handing out more W's to God. What about all the times that Demi Lovato was under the substance and praying to God? How about that? We never talk about the losses God gave us. We never talk about the losses. God be taking L's. Quit bullshitting with me. God takes L's. Or does he give them out? Fuck.
What can you do?
No, I just broke in, had a pizza. I'm Jesus.
Man, her mom is selling a book. Now it makes sense why her mom is trying to keep pushing this Demi Lovato woe is her
Wait,
narrative.
she's like really selling a book?
She's in part with 3 other like mothers of celebrities, and they're all putting out a book together. So she benefits from her daughter being under the influence while trying to pretend to cover it up.
Huh.
Now I'm judging her mom a little bit.
Yup.
I'm not plugging the book. I don't want nobody to comment. What's the book called? Oh my God! I do got to tell you what the name of the book is. Because it just gets under my skin. Falling with Wings.
Really?
A Mother's Story. Demi Lovato's not even out of rehab. And you're selling a book that your story is concluded. When is part 2 coming out? And I might add, her mom is getting under my skin just like Bow Wow did. When Mac Miller died last week, Bow Wow, of all effing rappers, came out.
Where's he been?
Is she sober too? Shit.
A sober Weffer. He's been trying to be on the Weffer diet and being sober. But he was saying that he almost died recently too, and he had to stop doing codeine. And woe is me, I'm Bow Wow. I had a substance abuse. He gave his stupid side effects.
Shut up.
He's lying.
He just wants attention.
He does. That's why it made the show sheet. Now, he's lying, and we can effing prove it. Because he said his side effects were, I was hurting so bad when I was under codeine's influence, everything in my body hurt. Let me fucking tell you something, Bow Wow. That is a normal side effect that does not equate to almost dying.
Right.
That is literally vying for attention.
Wow.
Is God responsible for that? Does God take the L because Bow Wow wanna bandwagon hitch himself to the codeine epidemic? Which Eminem did not start, by the way.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Let me see if I got a Lil Wayne drop.
Part 2 will come out when Demi Lovato ends up back in rehab.
Oh!
I got a Greek freak, she call me Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, you true. Man, that got me lit. Let's talk about that Wayne thing real quick.
I got a Greek freak, she call me Antetokounmpo.
Now, I've seen the rumblings coming for a while. I talked about it last week on Open Season. Now, first and foremost, let me address the idiots that woke up Friday and said that the Carter 5 was delayed. He never said it was coming out the 21st. If you listen to my podcast every Sunday, 7 to 9 on the Hot Trend Debates, you would have been equipped with that information. Mm-hmm. It is a silent rollout. If you were listening to my show, I never once mentioned the September 21st release date because I knew it was bullshit. I didn't want to ill-inform my listeners. But somehow you guys saw that rumor anyways and are holding Wayne's feet to the fire, making fun of him. Yes, it's funny because it's a possible other delay. But no, Wayne has never said himself that the Carter 5 was coming out on September 21st. That was tweeted out by Young Money's verified Twitter. Young Money is full of lying, just leaked out crap. Mm-hmm. Their following on Twitter is putrid. That's why I called it the silent rollout. He had a Billboard magazine cover explaining why he shot himself. You know, the rebranding of Lil Wayne as a human. So when Young Money gave out the artwork to Carter 5, I didn't read the date. I knew it was bullshit. Wayne can drop an album tomorrow and trend, but it cannot be Carter 5. If Wayne really dropped the Carter 5 on Thursday at 12 p.m., technically Friday, it wouldn't have did that good. Wayne knows that. He's got kids. That tells him stuff like that. But now Wayne's going to be honored October 12th for the BET Hip Hop Awards for like a 20-year, it's going to be his 20-year stint in the game. So he's going to get like an accomplishment award. This is also a part of the rebranding, the silent rollout, the magazine covers, getting into the magazine head, people that still purchase magazines. You get to see the rebranding of Wayne as a human being. He shot himself when he was 5. The whole spiel that we all know. You get that with the magazine. Mm-hmm. The silent rollout. Now he got a song with Swizz Beatz. It's silent. Did 1 million in a week. That is terrible, but purposeful. Wayne always comes out with a single on somebody else's project that he doesn't push himself. Mm-hmm. Right or wrong, that's Wayne. I don't question his work ethic, so I never get mad at it because he never lacks anywhere else because he's just leaking out songs.
Right.
This is Mr. Leak songs. So the silent rollout. Now that the fake faux outrage of a Wayne album getting pushed back, I guaranteed last week it would be before Halloween. Or on Halloween. But the October date lines up for that. You get another rebranding of Wayne. Let those clips come out. Have everybody reflect in today's history right now while we're seeing this shift in this generation of digital platform sites. They call those DSPs. He's going to get that rebrand rollout on all platforms. and then punch everybody in the mouth when they're aware of it. The Carter 5 needs the build-up. Nothing else does from Wayne. But the Carter 5 needs the build-up.
Oh, yeah.
That track list, garbage. Not gonna lie. You have to take Believe Me off of that. Believe Me is still on the track list. Take it off. I don't want that song. Crazy's still on. These songs are 4 years old. What you think, show director? Do you think Wayne deserves an accomplishment award for everything that he's done in the last 20 years of being on this earth?
Yeah, I do.
He got a word in the dictionary.
Yeah.
The first rapper on wax to say bling bling, and it made it. It kind of bombed. I'll give credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Stan is definitely sticking a lot better in the dictionary than bling is. But you can't fault that.
No. But no, I think he deserves it.
Absolutely. Wayne's smart. He's controlling his own narrative too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not saying anything. You just see him with Birdman sometimes. You see him get a hit on him from Birdman sometimes. And Wayne is just living.
Mm-hmm.
I can't judge because I don't know what's going on. Everybody would not be fucking with Baby Birdman. Ever. After you got a hit on him. But Wayne knows something, obviously, that we might not know.
Absolutely.
Let's get into this. I want to know if Kanye West makes sense.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me go back to that Wayne story. Sorry.
I got a Greek freak, she call me Antetokounmpo.
Because I did it backwards. I don't want to do that no more. Do you care about award shows? Now, this is weird because Wayne's been anti-award show.
Mm-hmm.
Every rapper is anti-award show. We already know somebody else who's anti-award show.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
But you don't want to put anybody on from the younger gen. Okay. I need to put my gunshots in here. Like, for real. Okay, so. Now, you know what? Let's talk about that.
You don't know what you want to do right now.
Because nobody cares about award shows. I just think it's weird and it's smart on Wayne's behalf. This also goes into the criteria of the rebranding. Award shows mean nothing, but Wayne is going to show up to an award show. Just last year, he went to a porn award show. Did the anti-Grammy show. On the day of the Grammys, he did an award show for porn and performed. This is how desperate the award shows now are for content.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hurry up and honor Wayne on your 30th because you know the 40th probably going to be cut from cable.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hurry up and get Wayne in there. But it's just bougie on all fronts. And
Right.
Wayne is the only one that benefits. Gets an award, gets a resume, none of it matters anything, but he rebrands himself for Carter 5 to be good, and then he'll hit you in the mouth 6 months later, and you already know about 2 mixtapes in between that. It's going to be a good year to be a Wayne fan, finally.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how Kanye has been Kanye lately.
I just love Trump. That's my boy.
I think we can finally come to a topic involving Kanye and not yell at each other, not nitpick each other's opinions. Kanye West is continuing to speak out against social media pressure. Now, Kanye said this. He said that people are committing suicide due to not getting enough likes, seeking validation in the simulation. Speaking for myself, I personally want to participate in the social media with the option of not having to show my followers or likes. Now, we can make the jokes of that gives every lame motherfucker in the game an excuse to talk about some clout that they don't even have to prove they got.
Mm-hmm.
But that aside, within 1 hour of tweeting that out, the owner, the CEO of Twitter, text Kanye and said, I actually want to get on board with something like this. Kanye did what he always does. He immediately asked him. And this is why I defended his stance, not the execution of that Trump TMZ shit. His stance. But his execution now is a lot cleaner. He said, yo, can I screenshot this and put it on Twitter? And the CEO replied, he said, by all means, we're trying to get ourselves out there PR-wise, and this would help immensely.
That's insane.
So Twitter doesn't want to, they don't want to worry about flipping anything PR. They literally want to be the next level of what's happening generationally.
Mm-hmm.
Just in between the MGK and the Eminem debates, you can hear the generational gaps in between common ground between the two.
Yeah.
You put that on a Twitter platform, it's got old CEO heads on there, and it's got the millennials.
Mm-hmm.
If any place were to enforce such a system, I think it would and have to be Twitter. Do you agree with Kanye's stance here?
There, yes.
I'm just nodding my head. It's the first Kanye West topic in a while.
Yep.
I didn't have to talk about for 20 goddamn minutes. For you to, or anybody to at least see what we're saying and to just understand that the execution was wrong. Of course, I had those listeners that didn't want to even hear that, but that's fine. It's generational. At God of Hip Hop, at Open Season. But that's dope, man. He went right there.
He's making moves. That's insane.
And that's why I seen his jump off point with that whole Trump thing.
Yeah.
Because, okay, just say I have the whole rationale wrong. Kanye has the whole rationale wrong. And even here, Kanye's saying, yo, the Mark Zuckerberg, the creators of Twitter, we all need to FaceTime. We all need to get on board with this shit. So he's calling out Instagram owners, Facebook owners, Snapchat owner, everybody.
Yeah.
Kanye's doing a dope thing right now.
Want to shout out?
Absolutely shout out Kanye for that shit.
I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck.
But that's why I understood his jump off point with the whole Trump thing. Everyone's saying fuck you. Why not say love him? And then when a week later, Kim Kardashian pardoned somebody for prison reform, and I think she just went to the White House last week to do a second person.
Huh.
Regardless if I was wrong then, y'all were right then, and vice versa on all boards, all opinions. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, what do we count? We count W's and L's. And all I was trying to argue then is, even if I think the execution is wrong, I think that this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is saying he's the only one that's not screaming, fuck you. I'm not going to keep saying the name because I don't want to make it that kind of talk.
Yeah.
But, it's just easier to make that comparison when Kanye does something right.
Right. No, I understand.
Right now, he is doing something absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. He's doing good.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What you got, show director?
Oh, God. I had so much from last week, and then I just kind of, forgot all of them.
Want to shout out?
Big up to Gino 2 times.
Yo, I want to suck your dick, bro.
Because he was on my shit list for weeks. I wanted to ask him that. This man is always giving love to his wife and tagging his wife that doesn't even have an account. But Gino a good time. You heard him laugh at everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I get irritated when people get irritated with me. At least in the company.
Yeah.
Like, dog, you know how much I don't talk to Gino?
It's rare.
I see this man once every 8 months in between his love proclamations, and he understands my jokes. Big ups. Big ups. I'm trying to find... You don't got nothing, show director?
So there's this person I know, and she wanted to do something nice for her community. So she decided to get a service dog to train. It was a puppy, and she's got to, train it for so many months and then, give it back and all that. And she bitches literally every single day about the dog. Why did I do this? I just want to give the fucking thing away.
So she's seeking the attention.
Basically.
That's gross.
And that shit's annoying.
I hate it. That violence. It's like the Hunger Games chick complaining what they're doing the whole time.
Right. You
volunteered, bro.
Right. What if you decided to get a child instead?
She's just shaking her head fuck this tribute.
Right.
Bitch. What? Mockingjay my ass. Get the fuck out of there.
And I'm not even exaggerating when I say it's every day she complains.
Oh, dry snitch.
Is she sober too? Shit.
A sober weffer. Batman's penis grinds my gears.
Why?
The comic book. Bruce Wayne. He dropped the utility belt and revealed his bat penis in the new comic.
Really?
I looked the pictures up. Because I wanted to see Bruce Wayne's dick in comic book form. Because that's my dog. That's my homie. That's the big homie. Or I thought. It was an okay looking penis. It was a little shadowy. It just looked cocky, stocky like him. Pause on all this, okay? I'm just saying it didn't blow my mind. No pun intended.
Was it supposed to blow your mind?
Yes, it is the bat penis.
The bat penis.
Revealed for the first time in comic book form. I don't know about other forms. I'm pretty sure Pornhub has their own form. But it's not fair. You can look up, I think I retweeted it, @GottaVipBop.
Are you serious?
Check that out. Another thing that's grinding my gears. This Hobson versus Joyner Lucas talk that everybody's doing locally in the Detroit area. I think it's a waste of time. I am the wrong person to weigh in. I know I had a couple of people try to slide into them open season DMs. Does this make your show board? I hope it makes the docket. No.
No.
Nah, it makes the complainy part. I don't respect Hobson. I never thought he was good, even when everybody thought he was good. I don't appreciate him. I think he's really confident in some of the lines that are literally bullshit. Screaming at the top of your lungs that you're gonna kick the opposition's vocal booth open in the middle of their song, that doesn't move the needle for me. That is gross. You should do better by... No. This is a non-discussion. And it's less about a respect I got for Joyner Lucas and the lack of respect I have for Hobson. I don't take nothing away from Hobson. I'm just the wrong person to give you a real take. He's garbage to me. He will always be garbage. It is about factual statements, but when it comes to like a beef, I'm pretty sure it would be lyrical versus lyrical at that point. Hobson is talking way too hard body on Twitter, talking he'll go in at anybody jibs. That's the trickle down effect that Kush was talking about on M3.
Kush loudest friend screaming, well, my nigga.
Everybody ready to bite on a lower level when the top dogs go at it. Hobson is falling victim to this. You don't want it, Hobson. Trust me. Joyner, you have nothing to worry about. You know that. I don't have to say trust me after that.
Is it perfect? No. But I don't see you coming up with anything. And that, people, is what grinds my gears.
Let me get this boring part of the show over with. I gotta plug everybody's shows on here at nation.com. Ugh.
What's your favorite part?
Every show that I mentioned can be listened to in a Hear It Nation app or website, all mobile friendly, so there's literally no excuse. Front Free Radio with Refugees and KPZ every Thursday night. Yeah, from 8 to 10 p.m. The M3 show with Surveys and Wet Blankets. And Maggie and Mandy. Oh no, they've been coming with this shit lately. Every Friday night from 9 to 11 p.m. Church, a Whisper Radio experience. That's a long title. Work on it. With Chaos, a.k.a. Whisper, every Saturday from 7 to 9. The Vinny Rico Show with Vinny Rico. Andrea's phone calls every Sunday 5 to 6. And of course, our friends at The Kill Show every Saturday from 9 to 11 on thekillshow.com. I don't know if it's known, but I will resume. I am the only one that's peddling The Kill Show that I am aware of. Am I listening to the other shows to double check? No.
So you don't know for sure.
I'm talking completely out of my head. But just because I don't share it as much on Facebook, it's less about how I feel about Kill Show and more so understand how Facebook feels about me. So I shout you out on the show every Sunday. Killer Ken. Oh, man. Now we get to get into something good. I'm glad we get to talk about this. This is actually going to be the last topic that we that we hit on this week. We'll be back next Sunday. The whole show, 6 to 7 sports.
You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Wow.
Whoops.
Free plug. But that's who MGK did the interview with. That's why I watched it. It was actually less about MGK. I would have paid attention to it anyways because I like maturing the story.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the last time I'm going to talk about Eminem, MGK. But I got to stick up, obviously, for MGK. Spoiler alert. Don't care. Call in. 313-829-0650.
Call me now. Hey, what up, everybody? It's Vinny Rico.
Just realized Vinny Rico has yet to call back.
I was just going to say that.
Why don't Vinny Rico want to defend Detroit?
You don't care?
I stand up to everyone on Hero Nation about these millennials. Why doesn't Mr. Detroit want to stand up for Detroit? Gino called in.
He did.
And Gino's in a love fucking fest right now. Gino doesn't have no time to call in. A big up, real talk though. Shout out to Gino because you hear, like, all bullshit aside, you hear how he's still defending Weffer though.
Mm-hmm.
He was just deflecting. Like, oh yeah, she was being difficult. He didn't want to go in.
She was in a bad mood that day.
Again, for the record, man, I fell on the sword. She didn't deserve to be an asshole that day,
No.
but I wanted to give her a reason. So I went in last week. Check the playbacks, ShareNation.com.
You did go in.
I don't care though. Like, I don't care. Like, that's when people get messed up. I don't care. Sketch being a hothead, but you're tuning in. I'm just playing. Let's get into the sketch synopsis.
Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to be discussing one of the most grumbled over aspects of the writing process, the dreaded synopsis.
We talk in this book about hypotheticals.
People say, dude, you gotta think outside the box. Fuck that box. Get rid of that fucking box. You don't even need the fucking box. That's what I do. Just go fly. Step off onto the fucking cliff, bro.
We talk in this book about hypotheticals.
The dreaded synopsis.
Sketch, hurry up. Where you at?
Trying to get my stuff together. Ah.
You're making your fans wait.
Hey! Double checking to make sure Terrance ain't hiding somewhere.
That'd be creepy.
Wouldn't it?
That'd be so fucking creepy. He just pops out. Hey, guys.
J'ai accused, Terrance.
I'm here for some man butt.
Okay. Jesus.
So, what do we got for the sketch synopsis today?
MGK did what Eminem did and used the YouTube platform.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Eminem hates when other people use platforms, but he can do it. Used an interview platform, just like Eminem did for Kamikaze, but he didn't use his own employees with sway, and answered to Charlamagne the God and Company. I paid attention to the interview. One, I wanted to close out this saga because I'm done with it. Two, it's Charlamagne the God. And when Charlamagne the God feels like being a good radio host, he asks all the questions that nobody else would ask. They went over an array of things in this interview. So basically, we kind of want to break it down. Play snippets of audio, kind of see where their conversation is, and then see what we can add to it.
Mm-hmm. I like when we do this.
You know, the round table?
Yeah.
It's like my favorite thing to do on a show.
It is fun.
It's generally, I could do that all day. But I want to preface this alone. Like, I'm going to touch on a couple of things. One, I believe 99.9 things that were auditable in this interview. Everything that MGK said, I am of the belief that that is the truth 99.9%. It's way too convenient and easy to give Eminem these W's. Now I just want to get right into the shits.
Oh, he's a recluse. We can't find him. So we didn't speak. I spoke to Paul Rosenberg and his team because that is as man to man as it gets with him. You know what I'm saying? So what I had said, it all started with the daughter thing.
So what did you say about his?
So he doubled down. MGK, you remember how Eminem wanted to twist it when he was working with Sway? That's why I couldn't understand any Eminem stan that wanted to watch a Sway interview that works for Shady fucking 45 under Eminem's pay scale. How could you take that serious outside of like a sports presser?
Right.
So when Eminem was actually confirming everything Joe Budden was saying of the lack of commitment to people under you, oh, I just assumed everybody was working on their own things. What? You think Rick Ross was just assuming Meek Mill was putting out mixtapes? No, he was with him, helping out, putting out mixtapes. But it's neither here nor there. We all know Eminem is only good for Eminem's business. It's been proven time and time again. Waited 4 years to work with Joyner Lucas. After praising him, after seeing him at different venues, at different times, and different sites. Like, bro. But Machine Gun Kelly doubled down with it. He said, no. When he flexed on me, and we talked about it last week, Eminem just rebutted everything in the battle. That's all he did. He literally just rebutted it. He said that it was from the Haley tweet. MGK works under P. Diddy. That's where all the Diddy crosshairs has been coming from Eminem's side.
Okay.
Now, Diddy told Budden, and Budden brought it to the air Saturday, that Diddy is aware of what Eminem has said, and it's in their hands now. I don't care. I do not respect P. Diddy as a human being. I don't care, but I just have to update my audience on that side.
Yeah.
Diddy is aware, and apparently he's flexing a little bit. I don't give a shit. He's not going to do anything. Secondly, MGK is definitely setting up the benchmark of where he wants to take this conversation. So right out the gate, he's saying that Eminem's controlling his narrative, as I said he should, but he's fucking it up. And that's what's hard, and it's generational right now. Because we know you're getting interviewed. Eminem interviewed himself. When you go up on camera with Sway, you were interviewing yourself. He works for you. And MGK is saying, no, I don't care what he said to his employee. This started from Haley. The reason why I was hung up on Haley is because he was hung up on Haley. And even Sway said, yo, if there's anything, you can't come here until you need to work it out with Eminem. Why would Sway say that if it wasn't from Eminem's mouth?
Right.
And again, I can't prove that part, but it just makes sense.
That got him so mad. What did you say?
You know what I said.
That she's hot.
You have to admit you was out of line for that. She was 15, 16.
Look. I'm a father. One, I didn't know how old she was. All the headline said was this person that we had known through records is all grown up.
True. We all seen those same headlines.
Yes.
Haley is all grown up. She was laying back. Her legs were out. She was sitting down on the ground. I remember the picture. That is what MGK was talking about.
How old is she? Does anybody know?
Now she's of age, but when this started 6 years ago, she was 16.
Okay.
And MGK was 2021. But the story just broke. Everybody got okie doked until they double checked and fact checked her age.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And again, Eminem is doing what Cardi B's not doing. You see how I'm doing all this right now? Cardi B is sending men to beat up strippers that are fucking her boyfriend instead of her checking her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem's not checking his daughter or defending her actions of putting herself out there with bikinis and bras. Eminem's daughter is doing this on purpose. Eminem is not defending or admitting that, but he wants to only give the flack to MGK.
Yeah.
And MGK is saying, after that, I started getting turned down. And even out of Sway's mouth said he had to turn him down at least one time. And he just said, I can't get a hold of Eminem. Nobody knows where Eminem is. He talked to my boss and I had to talk to him, but we can't get Eminem on the phone, so I had to talk to Paul Rosenberg. What did Joe Budden say last month? He can never find Eminem. Nobody knows where Eminem is. They have to talk to Paul Rosenberg. Whether they're all butthurt or not, do you guys not see the pattern here? I will always defend Eminem's music, but his actions and his personality lately is fucking la la la. I'm an old man. I'm right. Get off my lawn.
That's the headline.
Cleveland. What did I say
And I
about
said you never
Cleveland?
even been there because actually Cleveland's a very lovely place.
Yeah, you.
MGK even defended that. You know how Eminem flexed on him saying I'm bigger than you in your own city? MGK does have 20 million records sold before Eminem. And Tez wrapped it up. Listen to the playbacks, please. Because Tez J called in last week, 10 minutes before the sketch synopsis. And even MGK said in his interview, he tried the pop route. It popped for a little bit. Now he's going lyrical.
Mm-hmm.
He's not apologizing for his YouTube videos. He's doubling down on everything. He's saying, yo, I said this about Haley. He did call me about Haley. I shot these videos within 48 hours. Or he said I took an Adderall, did the song, and shot the music video in 4 hours. When he popped champagne, his recording booth was in the next room.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem recorded his response in $1 million studio, and MGK recorded his in a dressing room before mic rehearsal. MGK has a YouTube video show series where he has a YouTube videographer at all times with him. MGK also put out 2 music videos these past 2 days, all shot on the tour buses. The same tour buses that were in the Rap Devil song. He's not apologizing that his songs are clean as fuck. And I would defend it. And I believe it. So we doubled down with Haley. Eminem controlled the message with Sway. And MGK expands later on. You know how I was saying he's setting it up?
Yeah.
Because the narrative was already changing. Because when he immediately came out with Rap Devil, what did everybody say? He ain't shoot that video in one day. The narrative was changing. Those were the Eminem stands coming out. They were controlling the message, while Eminem was controlling his message. I brought it up on my show last week and played the audio. Eminem said in the diss song, first 5 seconds of the song, I'm not going to do this again. So all the people that are saying MGK in this interview said he doesn't want any smoke with Eminem, he does take the L. I got to admit that. MGK takes the L. But I understand why. The narrative has changed. And Eminem even said, I'm not going to do this again. But eye for an eye, I'm not going to out MGK. I didn't put up no social media post burying him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that was bougie of me either because both sides said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
But only one side is being called the victor. Eminem.
That's ridiculous, too.
Before Eminem even rhymed, he said, I'm not going to do this more than once. I'm only going to do this once.
Mm-hmm.
I played it like 5 times last week. I'm not doing it again. I'm not giving it clout. So no, it's not about MGK not wanting smoke. I do believe him. He said when Kill Shot came out, he had a rebuttal and a response and a clip already recorded within 2 hours. He was in the middle of going to get some pussy. This EP was already pre-planned. Eminem had nothing to do with it. He just flipped back at somebody who came at him, defended himself. Now, the question that I posed on @Open Season Radio on Instagram was, did MGK really punch Eminem in the mouth? He said at the end of the day, I punched the legend in the mouth. And I absolutely agree with it. Even Charlamagne the God said, MGK's song was a song. And that's where Eminem doesn't get that that's the generational gap. Kamikaze was good for what it was. I'm not going to ever go back and listen to it. It wasn't a Mariah Carey diss. It wasn't a Benzino diss. It just wasn't. I'm not going to go back and play it. And to MGK's credit, iTunes sales 8 days after Kill Shot came out is still #1 on iTunes, meaning there's people playing both sides. They want to be vocal about Eminem, but they're secretly paying for the Rap Devil song. MGK's not getting the props that he deserves on that. I do believe that he punched him in the mouth. I do believe that MGK held his own. And I don't fault, even though it is a default L, I don't fault MGK for saying I can't do anything because the narrative has changed. MGK has stepped up on camera to 2 people and beat them up that wanted to ride out for Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
2 fans approached MGK with a video. MGK put hands on the first one and had his crew take care of the second one. MGK is for real when he is saying, text me to Addy, I'm pulling up scrapping. All bullshit aside.
I'm not a fan.
Okay, Oscar the Grouch, chill on the couch.
Straight up. MGK's not playing. What we got, show director?
Just a new listener, Raphael. He just did a wave to a shout out.
Want to shout out?
Big up to the listener, man. Every Sunday, 7 and 9, we're always going to debate the hot trends. If you ever got an opinion, you see everybody bitching about it in the weeks to come, you already know I'm about to come with it on Sunday. 6 to 7, the Sports Roundup. But with this MGK thing, man, the narrative has changed because you can see the copyright. Now, MGK went to the same producer that Eminem did for Kill Shot. The copyright of the Photoshop copyrights are coming out. The MGK is one of only 3 writers of Rap Devil.
Mm-hmm.
How? When Kill Shot used the same producer, how is Shady Records the only copyright? I'm not arguing that M's trying to get over on anybody, but who is pushing this false narrative that MGK didn't copyright the whole thing to himself?
Mm-hmm.
Go to his page and check it out. It's him. That's not real. The video of MGK being booed during that Kill Shot video, that was fake. World Star had the real video. People cheering and flipping off the cameras. Then 1 hour later, a fake video with wrestling booing was redistributed. And even MGK said in this same interview that we're listening to, I'm not saying it was him that changed the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is there's a machine that I'm going against. When I'm the only one that stepped into the ring, the narrative kept changing from jump, and it's only gotten worse. Of course I want to dispute everything, but then I look like the loser. But when I put out the video, and because my videos are always tight, but you're only paying attention because it's about Eminem, how can you say that I didn't really do that in one day? I put out a Rap Devil song to defend myself. Motherfuckers waited 12 days to Photoshop some fake copyrights. I didn't see no fake copyrights until Eminem dropped his shit. Right or wrong, that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fake booing video. You can go to World Star and look at the fake one and the real one. And even if they're flipped, somebody's trying to change the narrative.
Yeah.
And iTunes is still #1. Some of y'all playing both sides. I'm telling y'all, some of y'all playing both sides. I promise y'all, some of y'all playing both sides. Nobody wants to admit it. Answer for yourselves. Come on.
People don't know how to do that anymore.
I respect MGK as a man immensely because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because he called it all true. He's saying he's the only one stepped up, which is true. while the narrative was changing since before he even responded, which was true. And now he's saying that there's no way he could even win. The only thing I'm not going to say that I don't believe is having a reply within a couple hours.
Yeah.
History would suggest that he did, but I'm not willing to die on that hill. Because I can't argue. Once you come to the realization that you're up against the machine, it only bettered each side's argument. Every 35-year-old and up loved what Eminem did. Everyone 34 and younger loved MGK's side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to change. So why keep fueling the false narratives of photoshops and rigged video footage when you know that's only going to be what round 2 is,
Right.
round 3 is, round 4 is?
Michigan included. I step out in the crowd after that song plays and walk through the entire arena. And there is a video of this every single day.
Let's just say the booing was true. How come before Eminem responded, when he was in Grand Rapids, the same day Eminem was flipping the coin for the Lions game, we saw the cheering that he got in our own state? How can y'all lie to yourselves like that? Even if that video was falsified in the own state, the piss match between Eminem saying I got more fans than you and MGK actually being cheered here in the midst of saying fuck the rap god. All cheers. That video footage was not falsified. There's only videos that are being falsified after Eminem responded. That's what I'm not liking. And if you want to fall on the side of Eminem, that's fine, but dispute what I'm saying. And what MGK's been saying. And what everyone's been saying. This is generational. Should MGK have replied? I still say yes. And even Charlamagne said, for hip-hop culture, you got to do it. But I do get why it's useless. Do you think he punched him in the mouth, show director? Because I know the stands are out there like, no, you ain't punch him in the mouth. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all were all admitting you wish Eminem would respond by now when he wasn't responding. Get out of here. Eminem got out of bed for that diss.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take that away from MGK. That is a hit to the mouth.
I agree.
And especially since he's doubling down with the whole, bro, it is about Haley tweet.
Right.
He's doubling down on it.
Absolutely.
Just from that alone, I think he punched him in the mouth. Because it is about Eminem covering up the story, which is fine. But it's Demi Lovato now.
Yeah.
You're covering it up too much and it's too sloppy for MGK to not whiff it out. For people like me on Open Season to not whiff it out. I want to play this Joe Budden clip. What we got
a comment. Douglas says he's the only one who stepped up because he's a fool. Anybody with a brain wouldn't dare. That is the real reason why Budden playing talk show host. He's old enough to remember.
It's a lot to dissect, right? Read it again to me.
He's the only one who stepped up because he's a fool.
Okay, let me tackle that one part.
Okay.
To MGK's credit, he stepped up when his name was called out. Whether you believe him or not, he has doubled down in saying Eminem is lying. It is about the tweeting. For the record, devil's advocate here. For the record, I like Eminem. I don't like MGK as an artist. Full context. So
yeah.
I actually want to have a discussion, not an argument. Like, Eminem won as far as song for song. Okay? But MGK, what? I was too focused on it.
He's the only one who stepped up because he's a fool. Anybody with a brain wouldn't dare.
But that's also where I'm saying MGK stepping up also proves that Eminem's not untouchable. Now, I said MGK could win from knowledge alone, not lyrical ability. Nobody on my show is disputing the lyricism that is Eminem.
Yeah.
But when it does come down to the knock against Eminem, he doesn't have replay value. So in today's world, This whole argument is about Eminem thinking the younger music needs to be better and the current music and fans of that music saying, shut up, right? So just those two things alone, MGK only responded and is doubling down and saying Eminem's in the wrong. I think he punched him in the mouth. And if MGK kept replying every 48 hours, you know how busy Eminem is? He would have got him in the 48-hour news cycle. And I am a minute opinion of that. But I do understand what MGK, that's why I don't like that MGK is saying no. But he is against the machine. Now, Joe Budden, again, has said, come at me outside of this podcast. Don't give me a love tap. I will get out of bed and record about you. Bizarre just released a song called Love Tap while having audio drops of Joe Budden on his podcast explaining the love taps. For the record, I think every Eminem fan needs to hold Eminem's feet to the fire. Joe Budden has never budged. Whether you think he can have a good fight or not. Look, Joe Budden has said from the beginning, come at me. Eminem won't do it yet. So I think as an Eminem fan, not his personality, but of his work, as an Eminem fan, he better say something or not say anything at all because it is getting annoying.
He just said, I respect MGK for being ballsy, though, but foolish. Like you said, he had no chance.
Don't do that. He said, like I said, no, I'm saying he did have a chance as far as respondability. But as it is stacked up in today's climate, the machine that is Eminem, MGK is the wrong guy. And I was wrong in that regard. I want a killer. And that's why I do want Joe Budden to go in. MGK is the generational argument. MGK is that guy that is saying this generation only pays homage and we don't get respect, right? And the older generation is saying, give us respect. Joe Budden is trying to evolve with the times. And he has dirt on Eminem. That's why I want this Joe Budden thing to happen.
Yeah.
Eminem needs to stop mentioning names and just go at him because Joe Budden will have no excuse. Take that excuse away. MGK, he wants to take the L, but has an excuse. People are photoshopping copyrights. Nobody dropped that Photoshop until after Killshot. Rightfully so. I'm not mad at the fans. But that's what MGK was about. He was trying to go at Eminem, and it came MGK versus the fans of Eminem. And MGK is not the right guy.
Right.
Joe Budden is the right guy. He would know how to dispute that. I want to play this clip real quick.
Okay.
Because it encapsulates everything. And it is from Joe Budden. But this is Joe Budden's issue.
I don't give a fuck about none of this entertainment, smoke and mirrors shit. Are you okay? That's it. Are you okay? Nothing about his behavior tells me that he's okay. And if he thinks Watch the Throne is going to get me to give a fuck about him being all right, no, my nigga, I got that album. I got that album and it's great. I also got you and Cuddy. I got you and enough niggas. You done fucked enough albums up recently. I want to know about you.
So what will it take for you?
Not none of these shenanigans. Okay. I'm off of Kanye and the shenanigans. I'm off of Nicki and the shenanigans. I'm off of M and the shenanigans. I'm off of all of these disconnected, out-of-touch entertainers that are doing nothing but clinging on to these young niggas clout chasing. They're not doing nothing. Kanye was a genius last decade. Let's keep it a buck. The music has been under par.
Now, disagree with him or not, that's what I've been saying on my show. Nicki Minaj and Eminem are acting old and owed. It's not about their work. It's about their personalities now. That's what's souring everything.
Oh, yeah.
And when he's saying clinging on, even though it's a banger, and I love it.
Did Pump just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
Kanye is clout chasing when he's trying to work with a Lil Pump. But Kanye has the excuse of always working with artists. Nicki Minaj is grasping on to Tekashi's 69. You feel me that? And Eminem is constantly giving out garbage albums to hurry up and bounce back and say, yo, this one's good. Joe Budden, at the end of the day, take him out of the equation. We're only holding these higher ups, these Nickies, these Eminems, and these Kanyes, these upper echelon motherfuckers, to the bar that they set.
Yup.
So when MGK does step up, I didn't think he could be counted out. Granted, I am a millennial. But at the same time, I've been saying it on my show before all this shit became headlines. Eminem is out of touch. He's going the YouTube route to break those records, which is smart. It's all smart, but he's not adapting. That's why his interviews didn't match up with his actions. MGK's actions lined up with what he was saying, so much so that we all questioned, not me, whether he shot his music video in a day or not. Eminem put out an interview saying, I'm not going to respond, and then the next day, responding. He saw the backlash he was finally getting. And I predicted the downfall of Eminem because he said he's taking over Twitter. Eminem is way too sensitive. But Eminem specifically, and Nicki Minaj specifically, are apples for apples. What is wrong with the older generation? The younger generation has done nothing but pay homage. Just like when Nicki was tripping about Lil' Kim. Now Nicki's tripping about Cardi not showing homage. It's getting a little thicker with rumors now, but at the crux of it, it's always about homage. And you only ever hear the younger kids saying, yo, he the boat, but like, yo, I'm one of the greatest. No, you top 7, my G. That's not fair. And the millennials are tired of it. I still believe MGK had a shot, but he's not that killer, end it at all costs that I was hoping he would be.
Right.
I don't argue that he could keep replying, but on the same token, at what cost? Because even his fans would change eventually. Think about it. If MGK is replying for the next 6 months, he is only the Eminem's replier at that point.
Yeah.
No matter what he does.
Right.
That's why I don't believe him when he says, oh yeah, I had another song lined up in the chamber, but then I decided to not do against it. No. I'm pretty certain that MGK seen the machine in progress and just said fuck it from jump. But it just sounds a little better to say, I had something, but I don't. That's how Drake copped out from his response. I had something, but nah, I'm good now. Nah, I don't trust that, my G. I do not trust when rappers be like, hell yeah, I got something.
Want to shout out.
Big up to the bullshit ass rappers that be lying saying they got something in the chamber. Y'all ain't got nothing. And that's coming from me. I was vowing for MGK from jump. He ain't had nothing in the chamber.
Oh, we got one more thing. I'm sorry, as an OG, you young millennials only worship Jay. I beg to differ.
Only worship Jay? I'm going to need some clarity on that. For the record, I weigh in on this optically and storyline. I hit up the homies that know music. For the record, there are, of course, the millennials that don't pay the homage. But there are also millennials like Lil Xan who answer questions that the older generation asks them to only freak out about it. I personally don't think it's fair to ask a millennial, do you like Tupac music, and then get mad at his answer.
Right.
So that's the angle I take. I literally don't worship nobody in this music fucking business. I'm rooting for radio, and I'm rooting for responses, so I got some content to give to my people. MGK failed me. But on the bigger discussion of things, it is generational. But that's the issue too. Personally, I prefer some of the 90s music over today's work. I don't dispute that there is a content issue, but I also don't run away from the fact that people like Eminem and Nicki Minaj are not giving us content. Eminem set that bar for himself. The greats set that bar for themselves. Eventually, though, millennials will take over, unfortunately. Now, big up to the listener.
Want to shout out.
I do not dispute with the listener by all means, because even when I'm about to retire a little bit, you get the younger millennials, they're the only ones that's going to be pushing narratives for music or anything. And then you're going to have these opinions all the time. And they're going to be serious and not cachet like I have them.
Did Pump just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
That's what I don't defend. But that is the future of conversation. That's where the listener and I completely agree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you said, we're picking, you know what I mean? We got what each other is saying, and we're finding that common ground. We're still in that bracket. I'm a millennial. He might be older. We're still finding some common ground with little leeway on either side.
Yeah.
But these millennials...
Did Pump just drop a bar? He said, like a lighter, bitch, we ignorant.
Dropping that, that's going to be the narrative. You ain't going to find no common ground with it. And this generational argument, this war that's going on right now, is going to be a lot worse in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm glad I'm on the air now. Because I'm going to see all of this develop into growing into being a more argumentative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes left.
No, 6:58. We got 2 minutes.
And I guess that's the only 2 minutes people listen to.
Now, usually we go until 9 o'clock. There is a matchup with Tom Brady right now. That is my man crush number 1. Man crush number 2, Baker Mayfield. That's neither here nor there. So we're cutting it short a little bit.
Terrance.
He just got a field goal, so...
Terrance did not show up to the show, so that's also another part. But we are here 6 to 7 every Sunday talking sports. 7 to 9 hot trend debates. You can DM us any topics or opinions that you have at Open Season Radio on Instagram or Facebook. Check out Hear It Nation, the website. Check out the podcast playbacks on Apple Music. Go to hearitnation.com. Sketch Artist on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Tidal, everything. We'll be back next Sunday and every Sunday. This is Open Season. I'm your host, Sketch Artist. And fuck a sign off. Woo!